Welcome back to our channel, where we provide updates and previously unreported narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We have some exciting news to share with you. Catherine is dazzling in the exquisite jewels bestowed on her by the late Queen. Queen Elizabeth honored the members of her household for their efforts with a series of subtle gestures. An insider source revealed that the Queen gifted diamonds from her extensive secret vaults to her beloved women. Notably, Princess Catherine is named in the late Queen's will as the recipient of the most exquisite jewels. Over the past decade, Princess Catherine has been fortunate enough to borrow numerous magnificent gems from the late Queen. Because Catherine, the Queen's granddaughter-in-law, frequently donned the Queen's jewelry for personal as well as business events, she is one of the most significant recipients of the Queen's private jewelry collection. Tiaras, studs, bracelets, chains, and brooches were among some of the most costly and influential symbols of the British monarchy that Catherine wore for the event. She also wore a number of other precious jewelry items. With the exception of the royal jewels, which are required to be kept under strict confidentiality, the late Queen had one of the most extensive collections of expensive jewelry in the world. The Queen's daughter-in-law was among the most prominent beneficiaries of these loans throughout the period that the Queen was in power as monarch. Finally, Catherine was also qualified to get an inheritance. Let me take you on a magical adventure through time as we uncover the hidden histories of the world's most exquisite diamonds. Let's begin at the most recent dinner that Catherine attended at Buckingham Palace. She donned the Strathmore Rose tiara, which is the most precious piece of jewels that she possesses. There was additionally a story that said that it had already been over 90 years since the jeweled headpiece had been publicly shown for the final time. As a bridal present, a diamond tiara had been given to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and the granddaughter of King Charles by her parents, the Earl and Countess of Strathmore and Kinghorn. The tiara was delivered to Queen Elizabeth by her grandchildren throughout the event. The Princess of Wales presented her most recent tiara, which is part of an assortment that also involves the Lover's Knot, Cartier Halo, and Lotus Flower tiaras. Catherine wore a white suit with mittens that matched her attire, and she accented her headgear with a glittering bouquet of flowers on November 21, 2023, when she took part in an important dinner. As stated in the article, Catherine became just the second powerful woman in history to have previously worn the Strathmore Rose tiara in public, following in the footsteps of Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Mother. King Charles made this particular fashion decision to honor his doting grandmother, who shared a profoundly felt bond with him. In addition to wearing jewelry as a major indication of the continuation of the Queen Mother's function, Catherine has often said that she would love to follow in the Queen Mother's footsteps and succeed her as monarch. It is fitting that Catherine, maybe with the assistance of King Charles, has decided to wear the tiara 100 years after the Queen Mother was made the recipient of it for the first time. It is one of countless treasures that have lately experienced a revival, despite the fact that the item is old and has been going out of fashion for a considerable amount of time. In the year 1863, Queen Alexandra gave Princess Alexandra of Denmark a pearl necklace. This necklace had been an inheritance from her great-grandfather, King Edward. The Queen gave Catherine a piece of jewelry that is considered to be among the most important and antique pieces of jewelry from her collection. This necklace features diamonds and huge pearls, embellished with matched pendants and arranged in lovely swags around the neck. During the course of Alexandra's wedding, she was given a tiara, stud earrings, and an item of jewelry that was specifically created to coordinate with the chain. The jewelry was worn by Queen Alexandra, and following her passing in 1925, it was passed down to her daughter-in-law, Queen Mary, who was the great-granddaughter of Elizabeth. Queen Mary was the next owner of the jewelry. At the beginning of the 1930s, Queen Elizabeth, often known as the Queen Mother, began to utilize the pieces of jewelry that she had borrowed from her daughter-in-law, Mary, who had previously been seen wearing them. The jewelry's royal ancestry and historic significance propelled it to the privileged position of ranking among the Queen Mother's most valuable assets. This position is a testament to the jewelry's significance. The diamonds were given to Elizabeth by her mother and queen before she died suddenly in 2002. Nevertheless, she is yet to have donned one of them in public. It was not until 2018 that it was discovered being worn around the neck of the Princess of Wales at a royal luncheon at Buckingham Palace. The current Queen and the King of the Netherlands hosted the event. The piece of jewelry was taken by Catherine, who wore it in conjunction with the diamond Lover's Knot headpiece that belonged to Queen Mary and the royal jewels that belonged to Princess Diana. Pearls and sapphires have been among the most notably connected with Diana. As a result of the fact that Catherine has worn numerous jewels that were once owned by Diana, she also wore them during Prince Philip's funeral. In April 2021, Catherine adorned her attire with pearl earrings and a necklace that had 4 rows of pearls, 2 expensive diamonds that were provided to her by the Queen's personal treasury, and a connection to Prince Philip. Catherine wore a 4-strand pearl chain that was embellished with a sparkling diamond centerpiece as an accessory to her stylish black topcoat dress, which was designed by Catherine Walker and Company. It is believed that the piece of jewelry was derived from a collection of pearls that were given by the Japanese government to Queen Elizabeth during her trip to Japan in the first half of the 1970s. Catherine was provided with a unique piece of jewelry, which she donned as an occasional gift at the celebration of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's 70th wedding anniversary, which took place at the royal household in 2017. There are significant ties between Queen Elizabeth and one of Catherine's most stunning jewelry items, which belonged to Princess Diana, Catherine's late mother-in-law. Queen Mary crafted the lover's knot tiara from diamonds and pearls, establishing profound associations between these two individuals. The stunning diamond and pearl lover's knot tiara that Queen Mary donned had been designed by Elizabeth's grandmother in the first decade of the 20th century to imitate a tiara that belonged to Princess Augusta, the Duchess of Cambridge, who was Elizabeth's real grandmother. Following Mary's passing in 1953, Queen Elizabeth was able to acquire the lover's knot tiara, which she used during her very first term as queen, therefore demonstrating her exceptional taste in diamonds. Princess Diana received the tiara from the king as her wedding present in 1981. The king lent it to her for a considerable amount of time. Catherine didn't wear the tiara until 2015, when a foreign nation arranged an event at Buckingham Palace. Immediately after Diana split from her husband in 1996, she gave it back to the deceased queen, and since then, Catherine has continued to don the gift on a regular basis. The Queen of England received jewels that belonged to the Nizam of Hyderabad, who was a king of the Indian subcontinent. These gems were given to her as a wedding gift during her reign as monarch. The late Queen of England was sometimes spotted wearing the gem that was manufactured by Cartier. This occurred on many occasions. In February of 2014, when Catherine became an endorser of the National Portrait Gallery, she donned the piece of jewelry that Queen Elizabeth had given her as a present. On that particular occasion, the item was worn by her once again in 2019, and it seemed incredibly gorgeous when coupled with a black velvet dress by Alexander McQueen and the lover's knot tiara, which was comprised of diamonds and pearls and belonged to Queen Mary. The royal couple of Wales hosted a unique drive-in screening of the live Disney feature Cruella at the Palace of the Scottish Parliament in Scotland in 2021. The studs were made with royal Dubai sapphire studs. In addition to accessorizing her attire with an old pair of jewels that were adorned with diamonds and gemstones that had been passed down from the previous monarch, Catherine wore an elegant trench coat from Holland & Cooper. Around the beginning of 1979, Sheikh Rashid of Dubai presented the Queen with a pair of stud earrings that would later become a part of a collection of jewels that she had worn sometimes in the years before. Throughout the years that followed, Catherine wore the earrings alongside her wedding band, a diamond and sapphire piece previously associated with Princess Diana. The maple leaf brooch is one of the many pieces of jewelry that the monarch inherited from her mother. Other pieces include the maple leaf pendant. It was previously purchased by King George of England for his wife shortly before she embarked on a significant official tour to the United States of America and Canada in 1939, which was just prior to the outbreak of World War II. During each of their trips to Canada, the ladies of royalty were spotted wearing a brooch that was a tribute to the symbol of the country. The brooch included a huge maple leaf, which served as a sign of their honor. During their first trip to Canada in 2009, Queen Elizabeth presented the brooch to Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, that she had received as a gift. Catherine received it as a present from her on her visits to Canada in 2011 and 2016, respectively. A brooch was the accessory that Catherine wore to complement her original dresses when she was on both of her travels. As a gift for Prince Philip's engagement, Queen Elizabeth gave him a collection of diamonds that belonged to Prince Philip's mother, Princess Andrew of Greece and Denmark. Princess Andrew was the child of Princess Alice of Battenberg, who turned out to be the great-granddaughter of Queen Victoria. According to the norms established by the royal household, Philip was a senior lieutenant in the Navy of the United Kingdom. He was thought to be fairly impoverished. It was his mother's intention for him to deconstruct one of her tiaras so that he might use the gems in the creation of a proposal ring. Using the leftover parts, he commissioned a fashionable bracelet that was absolutely gorgeous for the woman he was considering marrying. The bracelet, which possesses a rich history and is commonly referred to as the Edinburgh bridal bracelet, was worn by Queen Elizabeth on several occasions over the course of her marriage ceremonies. The unique piece of jewelry had originally been loaned to Princess Catherine at an important dinner that was held to celebrate the leader of China. She wore it to the 2017 BAFTAs and other events she attended. Catherine donned a pair of diamond and emerald studs, both of which were given as a present from the Queen, to an unforgettable event in Jamaica that accompanied the Cambridge Caribbean trip in March. Jamaica hosted the occasion due to the fact that the President of the United States had presented the earrings to Queen Elizabeth as an act of kindness during the 1900s. She had been spotted wearing them on a few occasions. One such occasion was the state banquet that President Obama hosted for the royal family of the United Kingdom in 2011. With the intention of drawing attention to the earrings' brightness, Princess Catherine wore them paired with an exquisite evening gown designed by Jenny Packham in the shade of green, which coordinated with the earrings. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for the time being.